Please be seated. Honorable Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey, Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Honorable Selma Ashipala-Musavyi, Minister of International Relations and Trade. Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers. Honorable Ims Nashinge, the leaders of official opposition in Parliament. Honorable Members of Parliament, Your Excellency Yakubu Al-Hassan, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellencies High Commissioners representing Commonwealth, Your Excellencies Members of Diplomatic Corps, High Commissioner Linda Scott, the High Commissioner of Namibia to the United Kingdom, accredited to the Commonwealth, Dr. Harold Noabab, Vice Chancellor of the University of Namibia University of Science and Technology, Ambassador Penda Nanda, Executive Director of Ministry of International Relations and Trade, dear distinguished students, members of the media, and members of the public, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to you all. Since the launch of Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture Series on the 31st of July, 2017, by His Excellency late Dr. Hage G. Geingob, then President of the Republic of Namibia, the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation has hosted 22 successful lecture series aimed at involving the public in taking an interest in and shaping the policy on international relations and cooperation of the Republic of Namibia. This evening, the Ministry of International Relations and Trade brings you the 23rd Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture Series under the theme, and I quote, "Fostering Resilience, Strengthening Intra-Commonwealth Trade and Investment Linkage," unquote. My name is Jerobiam Shaniga, Deputy Executive Director for Multilateral Relations and Cooperation in the Ministry of International Relations and Trade, and I will be the Director of Ceremony this evening, and welcome you to the 23rd Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture Series, coming to you live from Namibia University of Science and Technology. A special welcome is also intended to those following this lecture series on our different virtual platforms, MILT Facebook page live, NBC live streaming on YouTube, and other social media platforms through which they are following. It is my privilege to introduce the panelists joining me tonight or this evening to tackle the topic at hand. We have Honorable Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, and Honorable Selma Ashipala-Musavyi, Minister of International Relations and Trade. Our audience, as well as members of the public tuned in live through the NBC YouTube and the MILT face page, are also welcome. Without further ado, I would like now to introduce Ambassador Penda Nanda, the Executive Director of the Ministry of International Relations and Trade, to deliver the welcoming remark. Ambassador Penda Nanda, the floor is yours.
I barely come to a mic without touching it because the colleagues have been saying that I'm next to the ground. Honorable Shirley, Ayorkor Botchwey, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Honorable Selma Ashipala-Musavyi, Minister of International Relations and Trade, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Ims Nashinge, Leader of the official opposition in Parliament, Members of Parliament, Your Excellency Yakubu Al-Hassan, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Dean of the African Group, and of course, Dean of the Commonwealth High Commissioners in Namibia, High Commissioner Linda Scott, accredited to the Commonwealth, Vice Chancellor of NAST, Prof. Erald Nobeb. Let me stand by the protocol as established by the Director of Ceremonies. It is my distinct honor, on behalf of the Ministry of International Relations and Trade, to warmly welcome you all to the 23rd Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture Series, a flagship platform that embodies our commitment to a transparent, participatory, and development-driven foreign policy. The 23rd lecture, themed Fostering Resilience, Strengthening Intra-Commonwealth Trade and Investment, is taking place at a historic juncture as Namibia prepares to host the Commonwealth Trade Ministers meeting for the very first time outside London. It is more than a diplomatic milestone. It is a testament of Namibia's readiness to lead and contribute meaningfully to global trade discourse, particularly from a Southern African perspective. The merger of the Ministry of International Relations and Trade earlier this year, under the leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, is a clear signal of our country's strategic shift towards economic diplomacy. With the ministry's merger now, under the able leadership of Ambassador Selma Ashipala-Musavyi as Minister, trade, investment, and multilateral cooperation are now central to our national interest and must be owned, not only by government, but by every Namibian. This public lecture honors the late Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab, a towering statesman whose life's work reminds us that democracy must be principled, people-centered, and purpose-driven. Tonight's gathering continues in that spirit, opening the doors of international dialogue to citizens, scholars, entrepreneurs, students, and all those who seek to shape Namibia's future on a global stage. As you will hear from our distinguished speakers this evening, this lecture will delve into some of the most pressing and promising areas of intra-Commonwealth trade, from digital innovation and green economies to the strategic value of critical minerals and industrialization. We hope that this evening's conversation will not only inform, but inspire. We hope it will challenge us to think boldly about how Namibia can position itself through collaboration, resilience, and innovation as a competitive and values-driven player in international trade. Let us use this opportunity to learn from one another, forge new connections, and deepen our collective resolve to build a prosperous Namibia, anchored in shared values, sustained by inclusive trade, and propelled by the inspiration of our people. With this, I welcome you once again and wish you a meaningful and engaging evening. I thank you.
Another loud applause for Ambassador Pendananda. And we thank you very much, Ambassador Nanda, for your welcoming word. And of course, we have taken note from you that trade and multilateral cooperation must be owned by every Namibian, and we must challenge ourselves how to position Namibia internationally. So thank you very much. Without wasting time, it is now a time for us to get into our discussion. And I have the esteemed honor to call our first panelist, Honorable Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Sorry. sorry. My apologies. First, let's call the Honorable Selma Ashipala-Musavyi, the Minister of International Relations. Honorable Minister.
As diplomats, we globetrot, and sometimes we forget that in Africa, it is not the guest who speak first. Thank you very much, Ambassador Shanika. Honorable Dr. Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey, Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Honorable Emmanuel Nashinge, Leader of the Official Opposition in Parliament. Honorable Members of Parliament, Honorable Ministers, my brother Yakubu Al-Hassan, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and members of the Diplomatic Corps from around the world, but I also want to recognize the Namibian ambassadors in our midst. Ambassador Linda Scott, our High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, and I think Ambassador Linda, maybe you stand up so that they can see who is representing us in the UK. Students from NAST, whom I call the future Namibian diplomats. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We were amply welcomed by the Director of Ceremonies as well as the Executive Director, Ambassador Nanda. However, and in my own state, I welcome you all to the 23rd Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture, a flagship program of the Ministry of International Relations and Trade. Secretary General, for your information, the aim of the Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture is manifold. First is to pay tribute to and honor in a befitting form a son of the Namibian soil who dedicated his entire youth and life to advocating and fighting for the independence of Namibia. To pay tribute or to, as we say, bring foreign policy closer to the people through discussions of different topics in international arena that pertains to Namibia's national interest, as well as her role in the international fora. And finally, by so doing, hoping to generate public interest, awareness, and participation of Namibians in our foreign policy. As it mentioned, today's lecture is therefore a continuation of a proud tradition under the theme Fostering Resilience, Strengthening Intra-Commonwealth Trade and Investment. Let me start by saying that we live in a world characterized by uncertainties, a world of us and them, the industrialized and us, the suppliers of raw materials. And so the list continues. Against this background, the theme carries special significance as it accords the Commonwealth trade ministers an important distinct opportunity to digest the global economic situation, its impact on the Commonwealth and global economies. The historic nature of this meeting should never be lost on us. Indeed, for Namibia to be co-hosting this ministerial meeting on trade, taking place for the first time outside London, as it had been mentioned, in itself is a milestone that affirms the Commonwealth's enduring commitment to regional engagement and inclusivity. Above all, it reflects Namibia's growing role as a trusted, reliable partner and an active contributor to multilateral trade dialogue. As we are all aware by now, in November last year, the people of Namibia elected Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah as the first female president of the Republic of Namibia. Upon taking office, Her Excellency the President merged the ministry and added the portfolio of international trade. This move was a deliberate recalibration to accentuate economic diplomacy in our international relations. The fifth administration continues to recognize that diplomacy in the 21st century must go beyond political alliances. It must serve as a vehicle for advancing national development, attracting investment, creating new markets for Namibian goods and services. In addition, government has identified 7 national priorities, namely agriculture, sports, youth empowerment, quality education and training, creative industries, quality health and social services, as well as land, housing, and sanitation, given their untapped potential. The year 2025 occupies an important space in the multilateral calendar. To mention but some, this year will mark the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. Yet we continue to live in a world of unprecedented unpredictability, volatility, amidst heightened geopolitical tension, where multilateral trade rules are being threatened. The theme, therefore, aptly captures the value of democracy, peace, development, and wealth, which bind together the 56 Commonwealth family of nations. Namibia, with its growing digital economy, abundant critical mineral resources, aspirations in renewable energy, including green hydrogen and nuclear energy, stands ready to engage and lead in these areas. These are not abstract concepts. They are concrete opportunities for Namibia to partner, innovate, and grow alongside fellow Commonwealth countries. Furthermore, these have real implications for job creation, climate resilience, and long-term development. I shall be remiss if I do not point out that the classification of Namibia by the World Bank as a higher middle income country has created challenges, especially in accessing soft loans. Notwithstanding, Namibia's participation in frameworks such as the SACU, Free Trade Agreement, the Southern African Development, and the African Continental Free Trade Area positions Namibia uniquely at the confluence of regional and global trade. While the African Continental Free Trade Area is primarily a regional initiative led by the African Union, the Commonwealth provides complementary support through various mechanisms, including capacity building, policy advice, facilitation of trade, and promoting intra-Commonwealth cooperation. Our task now is to maximize these linkages through innovation, industrialization, and strategic investment. Within her capacity, Namibia is ready to lead and learn, ready to contribute to shaping a trade agenda that is inclusive, sustainable, and resilient. We must work together, Commonwealth governments, businesses, academia, and the civil society to remove trade barriers, improve market access, and ensure that no member state is left behind, especially our least developed countries and small island developing states. Let me, before I close, assure you, Secretary General, that Namibia stands ready to work with you. We are very proud that a daughter of the African soil is leading this organization. You come from Ghana, a country that has assisted Namibia in forming our government soon after independence. We are very proud and very happy to see an African woman heading this important organization, an organization that represents 1/3 of the global population. Rest assured of Namibia's support. In conclusion, this lecture series, inspired by the vision of Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab, reminds us that diplomacy must always reflect the hopes of the people it serves. Let us honor that legacy today by seizing the moment, strengthening our partnership, and fostering resilient trade that lifts all boats, Let us build a Commonwealth of action, one that transforms challenges into opportunities for generations to come. I thank you very much.
Another big round of applause for Honorable Minister. I do not want to take much time to dilute, but I just wanted to apologize. You know, in every life, we all have accidents. You know, you can find yourself driving in one-way road. So I think what I did was to drive in a one-way, facing the arrow. So my sincere apology for that. But I think from the minister, one captivating word, the purpose of diplomacy must save the people it is supposed to save. So I think that is really what we can take out. I do not want to dilute much of the message that the Honorable Minister has just. Now, it is now I'm now driving in the correct side of the road. It is now my singular honor to invite the second panelist, the Honorable Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Secretary General, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Honorable Minister Selma Ashipala-Musavyi. Also recognize the leader of Namibia's opposition and other MPs, Ambassador Nanda, other ambassadors and high commissioners, distinguished guests, future leaders of Namibia and Africa. It is a privilege to join you for the 23rd edition of the Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture Series. I thank the Namibian Ministry of International Relations and Trade for this invitation and for your leadership in hosting the Commonwealth Trade Ministers Meeting and Business Summit. We gather at a time of great complexity. Protectionism is rising. Climate impacts are deepening. The rules-based international system is fracturing, with severe consequences for development cooperation and many economies, especially small and vulnerable ones. They face difficult headwinds. But from here in Windhoek, I see more than a challenge. I see resilience. I see ambition. And I see opportunity. This week is historic. It marks the first time these Commonwealth trade meetings are held on African soil and in Namibia, a country rich in critical minerals and even richer in vision. Our goal is bold but achievable: to demonstrate that trade and investment within the Commonwealth can transform our economies and sustain the resilience needed for each Commonwealth citizen to enjoy the democratic dividend. That requires a partnership with Commonwealth businesses and financing institutions on strategies to raise incomes and make our 2.7 billion population a consumer market powering Commonwealth prosperity. It means growing intra-Commonwealth trade to at least 2 trillion by 2030. Today we stand at 883 billion. Promising, but that's not enough. Excuse me. We must move faster and smarter. That means investing in connectivity, not just capacity. It means simplifying rules, trade rules. It means expanding digital corridors. And it means closing the trade finance gap. And also ensuring trade works for all, especially our micro, small, and medium enterprises, our women entrepreneurs, and our youth entrepreneurs. This is why we are launching the Commonwealth Investment Network, to match credible projects with capital across our member states. It is why we are prioritizing trade, finance, and economic resilience in our work and strategy. And it's why I will continue to advocate for inclusive digital-first trade policies that lift our people, not just our numbers. Trade is among the Commonwealth's greatest strengths, and it underlines our enduring relevance. Because in a divided world, we offer something rare: trust, shared values, and practical advantage. In fact, it is 21% cheaper on average to trade within the Commonwealth. We must now turn that advantage into real opportunity. For Namibia, with its green hydrogen ambitions and strategic location, that means shaping, not just joining, the global economy of tomorrow. I'm convinced that the shared values of the Commonwealth are a foundation for a shared, prosperous Commonwealth. And I feel a deep duty to deliver the transformation agenda that is needed. One of my key goals is to maximize the potential of distance education for digital skills for our youth and youth entrepreneurship. That is a critical dimension of our trade and investment agenda. Over 60% of our citizens are under 30. About 1.5 billion Commonwealth citizens are under 30. And definitely, you are our greatest asset. So we will build a Commonwealth that is resilient, inclusive, and bold, where trade is not just about growth, but about inclusion, sustainability, and also about shared prosperity. Thank you.
Another biggest applause for our Secretary General of the Commonwealth, particularly for reminding us that Namibia is rich with critical mineral resources, and of course also reminding us that investing in connectivity is vital, and that trade is among Commonwealth strength, and that she had undertaken to maximize distance learning for the youth that are the greatest asset to Commonwealth. So thank you very much, the Honorable Secretary General. Now, I have a very difficult task to deliver this message, and I'm doing it with my head down because I don't want to look you in the eyes. Due to the time constraints and the busy schedules of the distinguished Secretary General and the Honorable Minister, we are unfortunately unable to take question and answer from the floor. And I am like to sincerely apologize, and I'm really saying this with my head down, not because it is our wish to have this session skipped, but just because of circumstances beyond my control. I mean, there are certain things that, really you want them to become a reality, but the challenge is just too great. And I hope I will find forgiveness in your heart. So, with this, it is my privilege to call on Ambassador Tonata Mbula Itengu to deliver a vote of thanks. And once again, my sincere apology. Ambassador Itengu.
Honorable Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Ambassador Selma Ashipala-Musavyi, Minister of International Relations and Trade, Honorable Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, NAST Vice Chancellor, students from NAST, allow me to stand on the protocol already established. My task is very easy. It is to say nice words about the speakers, and maybe they will say nice words about us. As we conclude this impactful 23rd Theo-Ben Gurirab Lecture Series, I rise with great honor and privilege to offer, on behalf of the Ministry of International Relations and Trade, our deepest gratitude and appreciation to all of you for your time, your presence, and your engagement. Today's discussion theme on fostering resilience, strengthening intra-Commonwealth trade and investment could not be more timely or relevant. As Namibia prepares to host the Commonwealth Trade Ministers from the 18th to the 20th of June this year, and apparently for the first time out of London, as Namibians, we do so proudly, not just as hosts, but as active contributors to shaping the future of inclusive and sustainable trade. It is essential that engagements pertaining to the development of Namibia reach out to the Namibian public. Our sincere gratitude goes to our distinguished speakers, namely Honorable Shirley Ayorkor Botchwey and Ambassador Selma Ashipala-Musavyi, who have helped unpack the theme of this lecture this evening. Your insights have added immense value and direction to our national dialogue. To the Namibian public and students, I want to offer a sincere and warm, heartfelt word of thanks. Your attendance today show a growing national awareness that issues of trade, diplomacy, and economic resilience are not the preserve of government alone. They belong to all of us, and we are all stakeholders. The ministry hope that your participation in Commonwealth trade and investment does not end at the closing of this public lecture. We encourage every Namibian, especially our students, our youth, our future, our entrepreneurs, and emerging industrialists to closely follow the proceedings and especially acquaint themselves with the outcomes of the Commonwealth Trade Ministers meeting this week. This is not a distant diplomatic event. It is a pivotal opportunity for Namibia to forge new partnership, secure investment, and expand market access across the Commonwealth. We must all play a role in building a competitive, inclusive, and resilient Namibian economy. That means supporting local value chains, investing in skills development and innovation, and embracing the opportunities presented to us as a nation, from agriculture to manufacturing, from renewable energy to digital services. Let us seize this moment to work together toward a Namibian that produces, innovates, exports, and leads. As a ministry, we are also proud to use this moment to honor the legacy of the late Theo-Ben Gurirab, a statesman, a diplomat, and a true champion of multilateralism. His enduring vision for a more unified, a just, and economically empowered global South continues to guide us as we navigate contemporary global challenges. Dr. Theo-Ben Gurirab's legacy of principles diplomacy continues to inspire us to carry forward this vision of a Namibia that is globally engaged, economically strong, and anchored in shared values. Thank you, one and all, for your presence, your ideas, and your commitments to the future of this country. In the words of the founding president, Tatekulu Nuyoma, a united people striving to achieve a common goal for all members of society will always remain victorious. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Tonata, for that vote of thanks. May I now request all of us to raise for the singing of the AU and national anthem.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together and loyalty, together in unity, contrasting beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country, beloved land of savannas, hold high the banner of liberty, Namibia, our country, Namibia, motherland, we love thee.
Thank you very much. May I invite all of you for a small refreshment. I hope it is small, but it's going to be big. Thank you very much. And we thank those who were following. A good evening to you all.